Hey guys, it's NitroBex, and I got a device review for you today. Now, normally I have all kinds of information. This one's straight out of China. Alright, hcig.en.alibaba.com. And what it is a Silverdog clone. So before I start showing you the pieces, what a Silverdog is it's a hybrid. It's a fairly old hybrid, but they're still a very respectable device. And this one's a 350 clone, so there's the 350 battery I'm going to put in it. The rest of the stuff I got in the kit. So let's start by looking at the switch. Now, the first thing you're going to see when you see this switch is this gigantic spring, okay? Before everybody goes screaming and running for the hills, though, the spring does not make contact with the negative post on the battery. It just lifts it up off of the negative post. Alright. You have your bottom tube, which is labeled as the Silverdog, so it does have the engravings on it. Alright. Now, inside your bottom tube is going to be this plastic / Delrin thing. What happens is when you put the battery up in there, it holds the battery in place. Alright. It's very important that this part's here because of the next part. This is a hybrid. Now, in the past, China's put out other hybrids that kind of left a little be desired. Okay. So that being said, I just dropped the mod, sorry. That being said, let's start looking at how this thing works. Now, the next piece here is, this is just a cap. Goes on the bottom of the tank, and there's your atomizer / tank section of a hybrid. I'm going to leave this cap off so we can fill it up in a minute. And we're going to talk about the top deck. The top deck on this is what makes it kind of amazing. First off, it has offset posts, which make it really easy to build on, okay? And you'll also notice that the wick hole's in the center. Now, what this does for you is when you're used to vaping a Jenny, so let me grab an Aga T back here. If I were to vape it with that hole towards you, everybody would start screaming, no, you're about to get a dry hit. So what happens is you do the Jenny fumble. You pick it up, you feel for the hole, then you vape it. With the wick being in the center, I can pick this up and vape it whatever direction I want. I can vape it with the hole away from me. I can vape it with the hole towards me. So I currently have a 1.2 ohm coil on here on a 400 mesh. If you need to see how to build the coils, I have other videos for that. Okay, so the fill hole on the top cap will not accept a 14 gauge syringe. So that part does leave a little to be desired, but since I have the whole thing broken apart, I'm just going to fill it from the bottom. That is not how you would normally refill this tank. You would normally fill it through the fill hole, and the little fine needle droppers go in there just fine, like the type from the squeezy bottles. Now, before I start assembling the mod, you have the top cap. Okay, it's flat top. It has thick walls on it. It's hefty. It's threaded. Normally threaded would be a huge issue for me, but since we don't care where the air hole is, not an issue at all, and it's kind of nice to not have to worry about dropping my top cap for once. Now, I have been vaping on this for almost a week now to get a good feel of the mod before I presented it to y'all. The one modification, knowing me, I had to do was drill out the air hole. You're going to do that to your taste. I personally, I needed more air. If you like a tighter draw, it's fine the way it comes. And last but not least, on top of it, they actually supply you with a nice wide bore drip tip. Okay, so let's get to assembling this mod and making everything happy. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up the tank. I have my syringe of juice here that I had pulled out of the tank, and then I'm going to top it off from a bottle. Okay, so juice in there. And again, normally you would fill this from the top side, so that's why I'm not necessarily showing you how I'm filling this, because it makes a juicy mess this way. Okay, so we have the atomizer and tank assembled there, no leaking. The juice that you might be seeing on my finger is from where I overfilled the tank and it ran out the top. No big deal. I have carried this with absolutely no leaking at all. Okay, so now we're going to take the atomizer section, drop that down, and it threads right on the tube. Now, you're starting to see what the final mod's going to start to look like. Important part to mention, the tube does have venting at the top of the battery. I'm going to slide the battery in. Going to put on the switch. It does have a bit of a throw. Not horrible, but it does have a bit of a throw. Now, one thing that did concern me at first was the locking ring. The locking ring, when you have it locked, kind of flops there. It's not secure. It spins freely. There's some wiggle in the buttons. So the first thing I did was grab that lovely meter back there and start testing it to see if it was passing a voltage. Even though it's not the most secure locking ring, it did not pass any voltage, so the lock did work. Okay, so we got the Silverdog assembled, complete with the little graphics. They look pretty. On goes the top cap. Again, this is a threaded top cap, but it doesn't matter where your air hole is because of the center wick. So we have that there. And last but not least, the drip tip. Now, to prove my point, my air hole's bigger so you can see it, and there's not one on the back side of the mod. Just that one air hole. I'm going to vape this entire time that I'm talking to you about this mod with it towards you. Okay, so there's a lung hit with no dry hit with, that's right, that air hole still towards you. You see the vapor coming out of it. It's not towards me. I love the palm size of it. On their website, they had listed it comes with all three sizes. This one is not a telescoping mod, and the only thing I got in the box was this. So it's $350 only, at least for the one I have. Still no dry hit. Hole, as you see, leaking the vapor from the top cap is still towards you. It's a solid mod. I have dropped it just a few times. The bottom of the switch does have the yin yang symbol, just like the real one by Van does. It has the two vent holes on the bottom, which does absolutely nothing. As you can see from looking at the switch, those vent holes go absolutely nowhere. They're more for aesthetics. Again, holes right there towards you, taking a vape. Overall, I hate to say it, this mod's going into my rotation. I like hybrids. I convert bad China mods into hybrids all the time. They finally actually did one right. Now, what I would like to see changed about the mod. Let's get into that. Wider hole in the upper deck would be awesome. It's too skinny to put a 14 gauge needle in. I have problems filling it. Okay. The switch, I've never had a misfire, but it's a little crunchy. It's a very positive feel. It's almost like a clicky button. Yes, I said button for all you viewers out there. It's almost like a clicky button, but it's a bottom switch. Hold towards you still. I love not having to do the Jenny fumble with this. I love how palmable it is. This one's built at 1.2 because while you see me lung hitting it right now, I vape in public a lot, but I try not to be a jerk about it. So I do stealth vape. Now with this, I am going to have to put the air hole towards me so I don't cover it with a finger. So in public, what you see is this. And the vape looks like not a really discreet stealth vape, but a lot better than blowing clouds. If I had to rate this device, like I said, it's going to make it into my normal daily rotation. You're going to see me using this if you go to Vape Bash, which I'll be at, or Vape Fest in DC, which I'll be at. I'm going to carry it with me. It's going to get put in place of the 8W some days. I don't have price points on this yet. When I looked it up, assuming vendors pick it up from Alibaba and you're picking it up from the vendor, you're probably looking, it's probably going to be about 30-40 bucks if I had to guess. Again, I haven't seen these stateside yet. The first time I saw it was when they approached me about it, and yes, I did get this one for free for the purpose of review. That is not swaying my decision, as you'll see on one of the future reviews. So, that being said, yeah, if you get an opportunity, definitely check this one out if the price is right. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you again soon.